Okay, we're going to start this off with a big poll question. How much are the truckers going to hate me if I come spray this field? Morning, everybody. Welcome to Monday. So, this 75 acres here was the last thing we got planted before it started raining last week. What was it? Well, we planted a week ago today. As you can see, none of the corn is up yet. Oh, that gets soft once you get down just a couple inches. So this needs sprayed badly. Get our pre-emerge on before anything comes up. We got water going in the pond now. We just irrigated the, look through the camera. Water going in the pond. Just irrigated the wheat. Sprinklers are going to come around to start irrigating on this. If I can get that pre-emerge on, there's a 95% chance we don't have to touch this field again with a sprayer, other than possible spider mites later on. If I don't get the pre-emerge on, then we have to go with a more expensive chemical mix later on after the corn has come up out of the ground along with all the weeds. And there's no guarantee I won't track the hell out of it then. I said, will the truckers hate me? Because there's a good chance I'm going to leave some pretty deep tire tracks with the sprayer. And those harden and hurt like hell come harvest. But I don't know is that we have a choice. I'm thinking about it for a few minutes while I go get everybody else lined up. The other option is we got 30 acres of ground already worked that Cameron worked on Monday ahead of me that we could go plant right now. I think I'd rather spray first than plant. I don't know. It's only 7:30. We got a little while before everyone shows up, so because I gotta get them all kind of squared away on what to do before I make up my mind anyways, so to the shop. I don't know, well, you can see them down there on the highway. A couple silage trucks. KB Customs is on the move. If you don't know who KB Customs is, go over to the Grassman YouTube channel. It's a silage channel. They did like an hour-and-a-half long documentary essentially on them. They've got over 50 choppers, or right around 50. It is a massive custom farming operation based out of the Texas Panhandle. We see their trucks all the time because where all do they chop? I've heard Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming. So yeah, we tend to see a lot of their crews moving through. Okay, Cameron and I just loaded up a calf that was limping real bad. We're taking him to the sick pen so he can eat some oats and relax a little bit, as opposed to being in a big pen where you have the other stronger cattle push around one when they realize he's weak. So we're gonna go mess with that. It's already 9 o'clock. I'm out of time to spray until after my doctor's appointment. Yeah, we're getting a whole lot friggin' done today. Well, I was gonna get the sprayer all loaded up and ready, but Hector just called. We got more to doctor. So just close this. I'll get to all this later. Oh, these days get so frustrating when you have a plan, you're trying to get everybody started on the plan because we've got a ton of farm work we want to try and do in the next 3 days before our next run of water, and we're not getting any of it. Just drives me nuts. But when you don't have a cattle crew, the farm crew has to be the cattle crew because the cattle need taken care of. Oh, I can't help but laugh. I'm always told, okay, you need to make a plan for the guys so they know what to do. Okay, I got a plan. Here it is, 9:45. Not a single guy is working on anything for my plan, because at the same time, while I made a plan, the tuna made a plan, told other guys his plan without telling me what their plan was. So now they can't do what I had planned because they're doing what tuna wanted them to do, and it just devolves into mass chaos. And then he likes to look at me at the end of the day, oh, I thought you were going to have him do X, Y, and Z. I go, well, I was. But you changed all that, so they didn't do X, Y, and Z. They did A, B, and C like you told them to do. Well, if you had something for them to do, they should have done that, not what I do. I don't care. I'm going to physical therapy. It's 10 o'clock. Maybe I'll be farming by 1. always found it fascinating how physical therapist, chiropractor, all that, they can just push or pull on a certain area and you're just like, wow, that feels amazing. Granted, my shoulder still hurts like hell, but I can move it now, so progress, right? Alright, I'm going to change back into some work clothes. Told him that figure he wanted my clothes with dirt manure in there. Change back into work clothes. It's almost 11 already. Man, piss on it. I might just load up the sprayer and take a late lunch. Got to get started at some point, right? Okay, let's try this again. Okay, guys, moment of truth. Is it going to work? Oh, hell yeah! It's going to be super slow, but it's working. It's working!
It's working! It's working!
Okay, time for me to start touching everything, so I'm not going to hold the camera. I almost said that very inappropriately. I mean, how freaking dumb would that have sounded? I gotta start handling it, so I gotta quit handling you. You can always tell when a spray plane pilot is a younger new guy, because they're not afraid to go straight up and lay it over on a wing. Look at how tight he is turning. And he's gonna drop right over the top of us. So the tracks aren't going to be fun come harvest, but honestly, they're not that bad. I thought it'd be quite a bit worse. Now you get some spots like that where you can tell it sank in decent. But 2/3 of it, I'm just kind of floating on top. I'll take it. Look at this friggin' track. So V'd out. It's a nice little valley through there. That's going to run a little water. That was kind of the tuna's big worry about me leaving deep tracks with the sprayer. Is you can see this whole field is kind of a V. Let's say the middle is about here going that way, so it's uphill and uphill. He's worried about water running down my tire tracks and hitting the sprinkler tire tracks and running, but I mean, when your tracks are that bad, I'm going to do minimal to affect that. It'll add a little bit of water, but when the valley for your tire track is like 8 foot wide, the sprayer track isn't going to add a whole lot of problems in the end. In other news, I'm waiting on a callback. So I'm sitting there watching the plane spray that, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't remember marking that on the maps when I turned them in the other day. And the guy I know that I can always call real quick, that's one of the flyers, last I knew he was in Kansas, and they had a kid over here, a 20-something-year-old. That's why I made the joke about how tight it was turning. Yeah, I was wrong. I called the office girl while I'm watching it. I'm going, hey, send me a map or a picture of the map I turned in. Because I go, I might have marked the wrong field. I got to see what I marked. She goes, okay. And about that time, the plane was leaving, and a couple minutes later, the guy I know calls me. He goes, if you thought I was in the wrong field, why didn't you call me? I go, A, I thought you were in Kansas. And B, I could have sworn that was the young kid the way it was turning. He goes, oh, you don't think my old ass can turn like that? No, I don't. Joke with him, I go, you turn the way I would turn. Real slow and gentle. Not slow, real big and gentle. Because I'm a roller coaster guy. I love friggin' roller coasters. Granted, I haven't been on them since college and I started gaining weight. Don't really fit on them anymore, more than likely. But I've been in small planes like that. And the turns get me in a plane for some reason. Roller coasters, I'm fine. those planes, nope. So, I'm not just making fun of him. I'm the same way. I would take big turns. Either way, done spraying this field. Take it back to the shed, go grab the corn planter. So, just got a call from the spray guy. I was right and wrong. So that field wasn't highlighted. But I had another map completely wrong. So, you know, you win some, you lose some. Okay, I just had lunch quickly. Whoa, I almost said that completely wrong. Kayla had a lot of questions when she watched this one. And a popsicle. Lunch, quickly, then a popsicle. Let's go plant some corn. Had to come meet with the neighbor real quick, go over a sunflower plan. Hoping by tomorrow night we can have a third of our sunflower acres in the ground. That'd be handy. Okay, already checked for birds' nests. Got my little buddy in the corner up there staring at me. See the owl? He must be getting used to us, because normally he takes off flying away as soon as you pull a vehicle in. In fact, I just started this and he didn't flinch. I'll bet if he heard that, he'd go nuts. Finally. Back up and running. I'm not that concerned about how many colors are on there. It all chops the same. Now we could go through and calibrate and calibrate and calibrate and calibrate and get it more dialed in. We're averaging between 33 and 34,000 plants per acre. That's good enough for me. I know some guys talk about, you know, they want it within 0.1%, you know, at all times, you know, and this and that. When we have water, I've seen our yields in 16, 17, 18 when we were wet and could irrigate the hell out of this. We didn't have a single yield I would have complained about. Otherwise, normally the corn's gonna dry down early because we're gonna run out of water. Makes great silage, makes high yielding silage for our area. Why waste the time and effort to get my map so much prettier? The reason it looks horrible right through this stretch now is because my vacuum is off. I gotta adjust it. It'll clean it up better. But yeah, as long as we're planting between 33 and 34,000 plants per acre on the average, good enough. Okay, we got that field done, on the move. I'm sitting here looking at the clock, 4:15. Cameron's got 40 acres ready for me, but now he's working on the sunflower ground. I think because I'm at about 450 acres since we started planting, rather than going and starting another field, I'm gonna go to the shop and throw some grease at this. Only a handful of zerks, other than the tractor. But I might just do a little TLC stuff on this, call it a day, and hope tomorrow goes better. Mainly I'm thinking that because the next field I'm going to, I should run out of this seed, which means I need to get the seed tender hooked up to be able to reload and just... It's 4:15. We're not in a push, so I think I'm just gonna wait. Now, why aren't we in a hurry? Well, two reasons. One, remember, the way our water's set up, we can't irrigate all of this in one shot. So we need to spread it out because of that. Two, sorry, side by side confused me. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, two, we're going for silage. Silage, you want the maturity to be spread out to give you a chance to harvest it. If we were going for grain, yeah, plant it all as quickly as possible, give it the best chance possible. That's not what we're doing here. We're cutting silage. All right, change plans. We're going to plant. Walked in the shop, Bart and Aaron were going like crazy trying to get a truck all greased and done today. So I told them, piss on it. I'll just go plant the planter empty. I'll grease in the morning when I need to refill a seed. So no big deal. Oh, I didn't hit the mailbox. That's a good thing. Up and running here. Some beautiful planting conditions. We got a small pivot here. Whoa! About 40 acres total-ish. We'll see how close that should be. That's what that one planted. So I've been waiting to get around here to the pivot. So all 3 edges have a different outer perimeter. This one is the furthest out by a mile. So I'm 40 foot wide, plus the gap to him. I'm gonna say we're in the 50 to 60 foot range to that outside row from that end gun. I think that's plenty far. We'll see this summer. Maybe we can bump it back out a little bit. But at least now, because I've been watching to make sure I'm on the same track all the time, all of my outer edge is now at the same point instead of 3 different ones. And if you're wondering what the hell I mean by 3 different ones, so we zoom out a little bit. So I just did this field edge, and then you see we run into the road here. Then I got a corner there, and a corner there. So the edge I just made lined up really good with that one. There was, I don't know, 5 or 10 feet extra on this edge. And then you seen there, probably 40 feet. I'll bet I could have fit another 16. Now, how do we plant this? So here's my grand theory on this one. We always plant the inside 1.5 to 2 hours, 2 towers straight, just because it's a little hard on the planter to go in a circle all the way to the pivot point. Well, as you can see, there's not a whole lot past tower number 2. 1 tower and the overhang. So I think I'm just going to plant the whole thing straight. But as I'm feeling all the bumps, because you can, I don't know if you can see through my dirty window, Cameron worked it straight that way, and now I'm planting it straight this way. Might leave the whole thing a little rough. Now the fun begins. 2 passes from having this half done. Maybe I can shuffle enough seed around I can make it work. Yeah, we're easily going to have enough to finish this little patch and probably get a decent chunk of the other half over here. Maybe the pivot will be done moving by then. Probably not. It's still got a ways to go. We might just go plant more point rows on the far end to run out. This seed is magical. It just won't run out. We're 5 passes from being done. How? I missed it by that much. I had just put the camera down when the alarm went off that I had ran out on a row. I'm hoping I have enough to get to the end, and then back to that end. And then that'll leave 3 passes to come back and clean up. We'll see. It's almost 6:30. I gotta pick up my son at 7, so either way, I gotta go. All right, back in the shed. Got 15 minutes to go pick up the wee man. We are perfect timing tonight. Guys, catch you in the next one, which will probably be tomorrow because it sounds like we got a couple different things going on. See ya.